How do you know which investments will make you rich? How many will make you poor? Which ones are a total waste of time? And for today's video, I'm going to ask some people on the street as we kind of drive by, because it's less embarrassing if someone doesn't really want to talk to me. I fitted my APOC here with one of these hello, can you hear me out there? And I can basically talk really loud to the public. I don't even really know if it's legal, but it's kind of a fun toy, especially when I'm driving by and I just go, I'm pretty sure that's not legal. I don't think I should be able to do that. Here, I'm gonna drive by this guy and just gonna ask him a question. It's excuse me, sir, can I get some investment advice from you?
What kind of advice?
Investment advice, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Question, do you think a 401k is a smart investment or a stupid investment?
Yes.
Wait, which is it? Smart or stupid?
Oh, smart, I guess.
Smart, why?
Well, the money's sitting there collecting interest.
Yeah.
More or less, right?
Yeah.
Not really interest, but dividends, whatever.
Yeah.
You can tell I know a lot about this. Yeah, so it's sitting there, but I think it also depends on where that money gets invested, where the 401k gets invested. For instance, if it gets invested in a Chinese company, probably a bad idea.
Got it. Okay, so 401ks that invest in Chinese companies, probably no bueno.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your advice.
Nice sheet.
All right, thanks. All right, so listen, that guy believes that putting money in a 401k is a smart investment. I don't know if he knows that if he does that his entire life by the age of 60, he'll have an average of $200,000. And I don't know, the average American is literally living off of $90,000 at retirement. So that's 2 years worth of money. Smart investment? Probably not. But if he thinks so, maybe everyone else does too. So today I'm going to teach you my basic rule of thumb of when I think it's smart to consider an investment a good one that could get you rich, or when you can know ahead of time, even before you invest, if it's probably gonna be lame and stupid.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Excuse me, gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Good, how you doing?
So good. Hey, do you mind if I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
How do you know if an investment is good or bad?
A lot of people are making a lot of money.
A lot of people are making a lot of money, so what does that mean?
That means it's a good investment.
Okay, so if people are making a lot of money, then it's a good investment. Do you think that retirement plans, IRAs and 401ks, do you think those are good investments? You don't? Why not?
Well, because you never know what the market's going to do.
Oh, so the market can go up and down, why else?
Well, you can get to the time of retirement, the market can fall, and you still have to work.
Yes. You're smart. I like you. Thank you very much. Have a good day, sir. Mr. Obnoxious. That's what this vehicle is. Here, hit the gas. Listen to this thing. That is a supercharged, whining beast. And if anyone knows what a Hellcat engine is that is dual supercharged, they recognize that sound. They'll literally come up and be like, dude, you got a dual supercharged Hellcat? I'm like, how do you know that? So today we are going to be answering this question. How do you know which investments will make you rich? Conversely, which ones will make you poor? And as we were driving around and had a chance to talk to some people, one thing became really clear to me. People don't really know. They don't really have an investment strategy. And that's because most people are not taught about money. It's not like you have wealthy parents, so what are they teaching you? Well, they taught you whatever they learned growing up. So that means that homes, junior highs, high schools, colleges, we're not getting the financial education out there because the rich aren't found there. And isn't that really who we want to be learning from? If you want to learn the answer to this question, which investments will make you rich and which will make you poor? I don't know if I'm the most qualified person to teach you this, but I'm definitely wealthy.
You're wealthy, is that?
I'm very wealthy, and that's
odd.
That's how wealthy people laugh.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Oh!
I own hundreds of businesses. I own a lot of real estate. I've done over $1 billion worth of real estate transactions. And the whole reason why I've made this channel where you can subscribe is because I love financially educating people. I love giving you the education that I've received from my mentors, some that I've paid millions of dollars to, and I'm giving it to you for free so that financially you can level up your life as a financial genius, I think and believe the way God intended you to. Turns out you need to understand one simple basic equation. It takes like 5th grade level math to do. And if you can do this one thing, you're gonna quickly learn what is good and what is bad when it comes to investments. And that math comes down to these 3 letters, ROI. It stands for a return on investment, meaning if I put money out, then money has to come back. If I put money out and a little comes back, well, I'm not gonna get rich off of that. If I put money out and a lot of money comes back, maybe I will get rich. To do that, there's got to be a way to compare apples and oranges across all investments, and it is through ROI, because what it does is it reveals the truth, even if it's ugly. ROI explains why society's game plan and traditional investments fail us, because ultimately, you know what we're told, right? Now, my dad was a German immigrant, and when he came here, he worked so hard as an entrepreneur. He said, son, don't do like me. What I want you to do is do what all the smart kids are doing. Get good grades, go to college. If you get that degree, then you can invest. You can buy a house, you can put your money in the stock market in a number of different ways, and ultimately, you're gonna magically retire when the time is right with all the money that you need.
My money makes money. We're rich.
Were you told that? Maybe you were, or maybe some people have wised up and realized, that's actually not what the track record indicates. Quite literally, by the time you get in your 60s, when you add up all your 401ks, IRAs, your retirement plans, the average American has about $200,000. But they're spending about $90,000 on their lifestyle, which means they basically have 2 years, maybe a little bit more set aside for retirement. What do you do when you get to retirement and you only have a couple years worth of money? Well, I'll tell you what, if you have to quit that job, you're gonna massively cut your expenses, maybe sell that house you worked so hard to get paid off, and you're gonna try to stretch it for a few short years. Problem is modern medicine, it's good at keeping us alive decades longer than we were planning. Basically, you're screwed financially. I'm screwed. The second step in that previous slide basically says that you're supposed to invest your money. And that is the problem, because what does society teach us to invest in? Single-digit returns. And the bottom line is, if you put your money in a 401k or an IRA and you let it grow, contrary to what the gentleman said out there in the parking lot, is that money is gonna grow into a couple $100,000 on average, not millions of dollars. But the truth is, you might actually need millions of dollars if you want to have a retirement that will support the same standard of living that you've grown accustomed to in your 50s. So let me give you a crash course on ROI, return on investment. It's right here. You're going to take your total gain or loss, you're going to divide it by all the money that you put out the door, and you're going to multiply it by 100, and that will give you a ratio. A really important one based on what I'm about to teach you. You see, a return on investment is a financial ratio used to measure an investment's performance. This simple math is a key to your financial freedom. So you're going to want to literally take notes on this. The money I make, hopefully not lose, but the money I make divided by how much I put out times 100 is going to tell me what my ROI is. Let's do an example. All right, I've spelled it out real simple here. You're gonna take your total gain, you're gonna divide it by your total investment, you're gonna let your smartphone do all the work, you're gonna multiply it by 100. It's gonna give you the total ROI. After this next example though, you're also gonna wanna understand, well, what's my annual ROI? Because that's the total amount of money I made. If you take that total ROI and you divide it by the number of years you were in the investment, you'll then understand your annual ROI, and I'm about to show you what will make you rich and what will make you poor. Let's assume in this example that you worked hard for the last decade and you saved up $50,000 and you put that into an investment that, by the way, gave you a $50,000 return. Let's take a look at your ROI. Here's the $50,000 of my gain divided by the $50,000 that I invested in total. And guess what it equals? 1. 50,000 divided by 50,000 is 1. I'm going to times it by 100 for the final part of the equation. And guess what? I made a 100% total ROI, meaning I doubled my money. That is what ultimately 100% means. But let's assume that it didn't just happen overnight. Let's say it took 5 years. So check this out. If it took me 5 years, then I would take that 100% ROI, I'd divide it by 5 years, and it would tell me that on average, every year, my money grew by 20%. Now this, my friend, is what I call a double-digit ROI. And here's something really important that I want you to take note of. I think it's really important. The average stock market investment on its 30-year average, which also includes 401ks and IRAs, they average around a 6% ROI every single year. Now this is what I call a single digit ROI because it's one digit, it's less than 10%. And this is what over the course of a lifetime will give someone around $200,000 and in their 60s. But let's just assume for a moment that you're a smart subscriber and watching me teach you how to do things like real estate. That's one of my favorite types of investment, just one. And on average, I'm earning a minimum of 25%. Now, what is the difference between a single digit 6% ROI and a double digit 25% ROI? Well, if you're earning 25% on your money and you're doing it in the game of real estate, then over 20 years, this money will turn into 27 times more money than your 401ks, your ROIs. So really, you don't need to earn 100% on your money like I teach in my book, or 1,000% on your money like I know how to do, or even 10,000% like I know how to do. If all you can do is just graduate from single digit to double digit, then over a 20-year time frame, you can make 27 times more money. It turns out that if you can buy a single home over 20 years, you could turn that literally into $4.3 million. And here's my question for you. What sounds like a better retirement? $4.3 million because you learned the game of real estate, or you were lazy, invested in 401ks and IRAs and had $200,000. One of these will leave you in poverty, and one of these starts giving you millions of dollars, enough wealth that if you're careful with your money, you can retire on a basic 6-figure return. Now check it out. I wrote a book. It's called Have It All. It's the roadmap to becoming a self-made millionaire. And in it, I teach 5 investments. I've just shown you one of them. Get out of the 401k IRA trap and get into real estate making 25%. But in this book, then I'm going to show you how to make 100%, 500% on your money, 1,000%, 5,000%. I even can teach you how to make money out of thin air. Sound too good to be true? Literally every day, I have money being given to me, but I put no money out. It's called an infinite ROI. It's a real strategy. And in this book, I actually give it to you for free. And for that matter, the book itself is actually free. So if you click the link below, you can actually pick up a copy of this book, just cover the shipping and handling. This book will teach you literally any person in a 5-year period of time how to join the wealthy instead of the poor, who at the end of the day, how much excess resource do they really have to give and to share? I don't know, it's not for me to judge. I've also heard it said that you don't have to be rich to get to heaven, but I have learned that more money equals more options. And if you feel like you deserve more options in your life, if you feel like your goals and your dreams are gonna require more than just a little bit of money, then get your hands on this book. I believe today, based on all the books that I've read and all the mentors I've had, I believe it's the best financial book today for today's economy to show you in 5 years how to get it done. You know, I feel really fortunate that I discovered how to build all this wealth, but I didn't do it alone. I had to pry it from the grip of very successful, wealthy men and women. And over my years of studying them, I found that there are 7 decisions that they make that set them up for total success that most people will never understand. And if you're kind of curious what their 7 rules are on how they become so wealthy so fast, definitely watch this video.
Is that Josh? Is that Josh?
Oh, he's gotten excited. You got him excited.
Oh my gosh. People do crazy things when your car talks. It's like Night Raider.
True.
Right?